On today's episode of the Fumblerooski podcast, Kirk Cousins is now a Raider. Is Jalen Hurts uncoachable? And Puka Nacua getting sent to rehab. What the hell is this? All that and more. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome to the Fumblerooski podcast by Power 18 Radio and Secret Weapon Consulting. We got CJ Medeiros, we got Justin Tucker, and we got myself, Chris Costich, for now another 5 seconds because I was just told that the game I'm supposed to direct is now at 2 o'clock, and we're recording this at 12:11. So I'm going to have to leave right now, unfortunately. So CJ, Tuck, the floor is yours. Go ahead and talk about Kirk Cousins. Why don't you?
All right. See you, Chris.
See you guys. This is Chris signing off, and I'll see you all on Tuesday. Over and out.
See you.
Well, that sure was strange. But you know what? Look at it this way, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't had a CJ Tuck episode in a while. It's been a long time coming. We are so back. Everyone's favorite Patriots and Ravens fan. So let's just rewind here. This is Fumblerooski podcast powered by Power 18 Radio and Secret Web Consulting. I'm now your new host, CJ Medeiros. With me, of course, is my good friend Justin Tucker. And oh boy, do we have some fun topics today. Sure, it's the off season, but the headlines are coming fast and furious. Real stuff this time as well. So first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Kirk Cousins, everyone's favorite generational bag securer, is signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, well, this makes sense. Before I get into my opinion, Tuck, I'll give you the floor. You haven't spoken yet.
Well, first things first. What's going on, y'all? Big Justin here today. Congratulations to Kirk Cousins. Once again, he finds a way to get a bag. For the 11th straight season, his contract is fully guaranteed. 5 years, $172. His first year, it's only guaranteed the first year for $20 million with the team option for the next 2 years for $80 million. That is a strange and intricate and complex contract. But once again, the Raiders find themselves another quarterback to take the position at the helm while they hopefully draft their quarterback in the future with Fernando Mendoza. I hope. But congratulations to Kirk Cousins. I think this is an upgrade from Geno Smith last year. I think this is a quality upgrade. I think he's a very good quarterback, underrated at times, and then overrated at times as well. I think he can help the offense run under Clint Kubiak. I think with the additions they added to the line, like Tyler Lindenbaum, this team will be better on the offensive side of the ball. Thank God. And all in all, you like that. I think you really do like that. Congrats to Kirk Cousins, man. He's out of the black hole of Atlanta, and now he's in another somewhat black hole in Las Vegas, hoping to improve. Nice job.
You know something? I truly believe that Kirk Cousins' agent deserves a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame because this man has gotten Kirk Cousins so, even by NFL standards, so obscenely rich, it's not even funny, you know? And I can't hate, but this man continues to get just guaranteed contract after guaranteed contract. And at the ripe old age of 37, he's still making that money. And, you know, like I said, I can't even hate. So the thing with Kirk, like you said, Tuck, refresh my memory. What was that contract?
5 years, $172 million.
5 years, 172. That's right. But you and I both know, and you hinted at it, I'm just going to say it outright. This is essentially a glorified 1 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
This really is. It gives them an out after like the first 1 year, 20 mil. Like that's all it's guaranteed. Everything else is like that. So you know what? It looks big on paper, but in reality, this is, like I said, it's a glorified 1 year deal. And that makes sense. If you know, you know. And why does it make sense, you may ask? Well, I'd actually like to direct your attention to a quote from Raiders' new head coach, Clint Kubiak. You may have heard of him. He said, and I am trying to find the quote. He was talking that ideally you don't want a rookie quarterback who they're probably going to draft first overall, Fernando Mendoza, round 1. He's that you don't want a rookie quarterback to start from day one. Quote, you might not have that veteran to show him the way, so you might come in and have to play immediately, but you'd rather him learn. You don't always get to pick. So that makes sense.
Right.
He's right. And now well, let's be real. Can we all just be real for a second? Can we drop the aura of mystery? We know Fernando Mendoza is going number 1 overall. This has been known for probably since December. We were very much aware of this fact. I mean, outside of a few Dante Moore truthers when he was still kind of a thing for this draft, but no. It was Mendoza, and it wasn't close. So, that being said, this makes sense. Like I said, given what Kubiak said about how they don't want him to start right away. And like I said, this takes a lot of pressure off of Fernando Mendoza. And Kirk Cousins is capable. So even if you make Mendoza sit for an entire year, which I highly doubt, but even still, you can just wait, build up the team more, and let him learn behind a veteran. And honestly, I think that's what's right.
I think so too. I think Fernando Mendoza needs, like, as you see how some quarterbacks come in, they actually need to sit down and watch the quarterbacks play, and hopefully over time they're able to glean and learn something of it so they can take over the next year, which I think that's what the plan is, unless Kirk Cousins plays out of his mind ridiculous and they need him and the Las Vegas Raiders make the playoffs. Outside of that, I don't think they're keeping Kirk Cousins, but I think they're only planning on keeping him for 1 year, so Fernando Mendoza can sit under him and learn from Tom Brady as well. Ain't that nice? You have a Hall of Fame quarterback as an owner, and then a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback to learn from. Yep, nice setup they got there. And then once he takes over the helm, you'll see what he has. But they're not going to try to throw him into the fire early. Unless for some reason Kirk Cousins plays like absolute ass and they need him to, which I don't see happening. Yeah, I don't see it happening unless all of a sudden the team just falls apart and Kirk Cousins doesn't have any weapons around him. I don't see it yet. I don't see him falling apart yet.
Yeah, it's a stretch of the imagination for me as well. So moving on, we have another report. Allegedly, because people just love to, say stuff about Philly sports teams and the media attacking them constantly. Like, look, I'm not even an Eagles fan, but come on, this is getting ridiculous. Jalen Hurts is allegedly uncoachable per sources, and I'm pulling up the report right now. And this is what we're looking at. A source within the Eagles organization believes star quarterback Jalen Hurts is, quote, not the most coachable player, per Jeremy Fowler. Poor body language, not always bought in, not the most coachable, and the players notice. What? Well, this came out of left field.
Exactly. I don't understand. Like, why would you even say that to a Super Bowl champion that actually was a key contributor in those moments and helped lead his team to the Super Bowl twice and win one of them? I don't understand how you can say he's one of the more uncoachable people, not really coachable. It doesn't really make sense, especially considering the fact of how many coordinators he's had over the last 5-6 years. He hasn't had a coordinator stay with him more than a season, period. It's weird what he has to go through in Philly. It's unfair, but at the same time, that he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. So that's the way I see it. I wouldn't say he's uncoachable. The fact that he has to learn a new system every year is kind of impressive.
Yeah. And, there was this whole debate this offseason about some people thought they should keep Kevin Patullo, their former OC, for the sake of consistency, because he's never had an OC for more than 2 years in a row. But I was not one of those people. I was saying You can't have bad consistency. You can't have things be consistently bad. And when Patullo is as much of a hack as he is, hell, I'd trust one of us on the podcast to run an offense more than I would him. So then I get it, but I just, this seems so out of left field. And here's the thing. At this point, whether or not this is true is irrelevant. If you're Philly, you absolutely cannot have another dark cloud hanging over Lincoln Financial. You just can't. You know, because there's this whole AJ Brown rigmarole that keeps happening. And look, I'm not gonna lie, even as a Pats fan, I'm kind of getting tired of it. Like, it's either gonna happen or it's not. Like, can we hurry up, please? I mean, I personally don't think it's gonna happen, but hey, I could be wrong. But and now you have this. And does anything come of this? Maybe, but this is what I loathe about anonymous sources. They can say damn near anything they want. You don't know who they are. There's no accountability on their end. And this guy could just be feeding us a line for all we know. And the players notice. What players are noticing this? And look, I'm not even an Eagles fan, but come on, I don't buy this at all.
I know. I want names to faces when they say things like this.
Thank you. I do as well. Someone from within the Eagles organization. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know. And let's just say this is somebody, right? This is an actual, like, real person from in the Eagles organization. Then why the hell are you running your mouth to the media? Why do you think it's this important and potentially taking your career into your own hands? That doesn't seem very smart to me.
Very, very interesting how they keep saying this about Jalen Hurts. I hope he does well in Philly, continuing to do well in Philly. Hopefully they give him a consistent OC that doesn't get taken away or it's just mid to bad. It's unfortunate if you're Jalen Hurts. If you play too well, they'll take your coordinator. If you play too badly because of the coordinator, you lose him. So it's like, what do you do?
I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore, Tuck. I got nothing. But we're going to be moving on to our next topic here. Oh, brother. Puka Nacua stays in headlines again. He's in rehab. Puka Nacua, Rams star receiver and due for a hefty extension, has gone into rehab when he's not being, when he's not espousing certain no-no views and he's not biting people and when he's not saying that concussions aren't real, he's just checking into rehab, which, probably for the best here. And his attorney told the California Post that he's been there at this rehab place for a substantial period of time and plans to be there for a while longer. And yeah, that's what it says. The report is he's checked into rehab in Malibu amid the recent allegations against him. There's a lot to unpack here. Tuck, you want to just dive into this?
I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. It looks bad, but I think this could be a good thing long term. He's finally checking himself into rehab, finally getting himself the help he needs, which is good because, some of the things that have been put out there about him is kind of crazy, and some of the things he's done is ridiculous. So I don't know. I think rehab could be a good thing. Also, from a certain standpoint, if he does well this season, he's going to get paid. So sooner or later, hopefully he gets the help he needs. Hopefully he learns his lesson. Hopefully he does better. I'm not sure what he's there for. I'm not sure if it's a mental thing or just rehabbing from like alcohol. But whatever the case is, I hope he gets the help he deserves. I hope he feels better getting out of it. And hopefully he can help contribute to the Rams' success and hopefully help contribute them to winning a Super Bowl. All in all, I think this is overall a good thing, but it just looks really bad right now with everything going on around him. I thought it was an April Fool's joke at first.
Yeah, so did I. Well, if this is like a real thing that he's doing, like this isn't some stunt, where he like fakes being sorry so he can get his nice big contract from the Rams or whoever. And this is like a genuine, legitimate chance like that he wants to take to better himself. Then I really don't have much of an issue with it. And I would certainly have no reason to be against it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know what's going through his head, and you just want everyone to be okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, but if he's getting help, then that's really what's important. Because some of the stuff or a lot of the stuff that came out, just some of the stuff he said, did, etc., was a little alarming. First he was talking about how he doesn't think concussions are real and he thinks it's like all in your head or whatever. Well, yes, but not for the reason he thinks.
Mhm.
And then there was the whole Aiden Ross thing, which, the less we say about that, the better. Then it turns out he's biting people. And then he says another thing about, something similar to what happened on the Aiden Ross stream. He says an opinion similar. So I don't know what's going on. Like, dude, you are on the highway to Antonio Brown land, and you should probably cut that out.
And it's so because he hasn't done enough to be on the Antonio Brown way yet. He's not even a future Hall of Famer yet, and he's already doing this. I remember when his only problem was McDonald's. I remember those days, and now here we are now talking about more serious things. And it's like, why?
Remember when he was a rookie and he was just so chill and fun? He's like, "Hey, man, good vibes and stuff. That's why we're here. Where everyone's having fun." I liked that. I miss the old Puka.
Yes.
Hopefully we can get a return to that, though. That would that'd be super, and I think everybody would
That'd
be
be fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. So if that's all we have on this, we are going to step aside for a quick break. When we get back, some new uniforms have been revealed by a certain NFC South team. We'll break that down. And oh boy, it's time to talk about the draft. And on top of that, of course, you already know, we got the immaculate grid. Is Chris our good luck charm? Will we suck? I don't know. You never know. Well, that's it for right now. This is Fumblerooski Podcast. We will be right back.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome back to the Fumblerooski Podcast, still powered by Power 18 Radio and Senior Web Consulting. I'm still CJ Medeiros. That's still Justin Tucker. So, my fellow Americans, when your sports team, regardless of the league, releases a new jersey, I feel like all fans are holding their breath, because especially if you are a fan, this pretty much dictates what you're going to do with your wallet. Will you buy the new jersey? Will you not? Are you going to throw money at this? Do you even want to be seen in these colors? These are the questions that the Atlanta Falcons fans had to ask themselves. And I don't know what the consensus is. All I know is what myself and Tuck think. The new jerseys came out today. So, Justin, what are your thoughts on them? I'll try to rustle up a picture.
When I see those Falcons jerseys and those uniforms, I just think mid is the best word to describe it. They're not bad. They're not as bad as like the Arizona Cardinals, or they're not as bad as some other teams, but they're bad. They're mid. Like When I heard that they were going to get new uniforms, I thought I was kind of excited because I saw what happened to the Tennessee Titans in their uniform thing, and I saw what happened. And when the last time Atlanta did their uniform switch, I was like, you know what? It's about time. They need to revert back to some of their more traditional colors. They tried it with this, it didn't work. Let's see what they got. And then they changed the colors. I was like, this is an upgrade. This is better. But again, a lot of things were better than this. And this, it just feels mid. And the one thing I didn't see was like the alternate black jerseys. And that's kind of concerning to me. I want to see those alternate black jerseys again. But oh no, they're not bad.
Sorry, I'm trying to share my screen with hold on a second.
No, that's no problem.
I'm just trying for our viewers to find the new jerseys. First look at Atlanta Falcons new uniforms. There we go. Share. Here we go. This is what we're looking at. These are their new jerseys right here. This is what it is. These are the Arizona Falcons. These are the Ohio State Falcons. I mean, by themselves, I guess they're fine. It looks like they threw the past and the present together in some unholy hodgepodge of unseriousness. But they just leave something to be desired.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it's so minimalist, if I was to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much to it. There's barely any design. I can barely see the logo on the side. It doesn't work for me. I like the alternate black jerseys, and I don't see them here, which is kind of concerning to me.
I think they keep the alts. I would imagine.
As long as they keep the alts, then I'm like, okay, they'll survive with these because they're like new uniforms. They'll look good, but over time they'll just look kind of like how the Arizona Cardinals jerseys look.
Yeah,
that's how I see these.
Before we move on, I think we should hear directly from the people themselves. The NFL posted these on Instagram, and because Instagram comment sections are notorious for how kind they are,
of course,
let's see what we got to say here. Quotes: the uniforms perfectly describe the Falcons. Mid. The Atlanta Cardinals. This is the same jersey, but call it new for the last 10 years. The Atlanta Texans. So the same unis they've had before the previous one. Must have forgotten to post the new unis.
Mm-hmm.
Are the new uniforms here with us? Look the same. The Texas Tech Falcons. That's foul. That's foul.
That's nasty.
No, first of all, don't do the Texas Tech uniforms like that. What are we doing here? Respect the Red Raiders.
Texas Tech has some solid uniforms.
They do. Kind of looking like the Buccaneers, if you ask me. Me, when I tell her I changed. That's bad. That is foul. That's evil. I don't understand how they're basic if they're just an inverse or they're throwbacks. So much wasted potential. Bring back.
There is so much wasted potential here.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I don't think. I don't think the people look upon this with that much favor. But I mean, they're fine. Like I said, I'm whelmed. If that makes sense. I'm very, very, very whelmed.
Again, mid is my term for this. Basic, but they could have been so much better. But this is what we got. It is what it is. It just feels wrong.
Yeah, honestly, that's I think that's the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really all I got. So, moving on. Oh, ladies and germs, it's that time. It's about that time. It's our NFL draft positional previews. I have been going through the draft withdrawals, and now we are back.
Really?
And I know we're going to be breaking a little bit of orthodoxy here, but we're previewing quarterbacks first. And I know it's standard Fumblerooski practice to wait till the end for quarterbacks, but come on, not this year. Not this year at all. So obviously the first overall pick and best QB in this draft, far and away, is Fernando Mendoza. The gap between 1 and 2 is massive. So without further ado, Tuck, first up, where do you just stand on this QB class, like in general?
It feels like I don't know how to. There's some solid quarterback choices in here, but I feel like everyone's just waiting for next year because that's the quarterback class everyone's anticipating. Kind of like how 2013 was a good draft class overall, but everyone's just waiting for 2014 and all the draft in that draft class. That's how I kind of feel about this overall. This is a decent. I think this is an okay quarterback draft class, but everyone's waiting for next year because I only see like potentially, not saying it's going to happen, but I only see potentially 2 quarterbacks going in the first round, and that's Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. Everyone else I don't see going in the first round.
Yeah, and Simpson's not even a lock either. This might be the first time since I think 2022 where only 1 quarterback goes in the first round. That, of course, was Kenny Pickett going to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Where do you stand on Fernando Mendoza? Like, what do you think?
I think he is the best quarterback in the draft. I think he has some things that he needs to work on. I think he'll have the opportunity to work on these things if he does get drafted to Las Vegas, like the reports say. I think he has things that he can work on. I think studying under Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins would be a dream for him, and I think that would be good for him. And if everything is done right, I think he can be the franchise quarterback they are looking for. I think he is. I think Ty Simpson is a lot closer to Fernando Mendoza than a lot of people give him credit for, and I think it's closer between them than people give it credit for. But outside of that, I do think he is the number 1 overall quarterback just because of what he brings to the table, his size, durability, pocket presence, and then whatchamacallit, his not highlights, more like his moments, what he did in the playoffs and what he did in the national championship. So all in all, I think he's done more than enough to solidify himself as the best quarterback in this draft, and I think he should go number 1.
All right. I like that analysis, Tuck. Do you want to hear from the draft guy? I know you do. I'm sorry.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I said this a bunch my first year on the show, and now this joke just won't die. So moving on to Fernando Mendoza. First, let me just get this out of the way. He's got the build you want for a quarterback. He's 6'5", 236 pounds. He can stay in the pocket and take a hit, and he's tall enough to see over the line. That's huge. The arm length, the 40 times like 4.85, so he's not the fastest. Arm length is only in the 46th percentile. That doesn't matter too much. The hands only 9.5 inches across. That honestly, I don't get hung up on hand size for quarterbacks. I mean, if Joe Burrow made it work, then I think we'll live. Everyone say, "Oh, but Kenny Pickett." It's like, no, people are going to say Joe Burrow would suck because of this, and he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Some would argue top 5 when he's healthy, but that's neither here nor there. So what I like about Mendoza is that his greatest weapon is his mind. It's the 6 inches between his ears. That right there, Tuck. No, shame, condemn you to hell. No, bad.
All right.
You know what?
Continue.
I knew when I said that.
That's not my fault.
You're a funny man. I'll give you
You
that.
could have stopped, and you could have stopped and said the brain between his ears. You could have stopped there.
It's a saying. Come on. Oh, now you got me laughing. You know what, Tuck? I'm going to be real. I don't say this enough, but you're a funny guy. You really are. And I mean that, and I genuinely mean that you are. You make me laugh, and I mean that in the good way.
Thank you.
So, no, really. I don't know what it is. But anyway, but like I said, the brain, the mental power is there. His processing speed is amazing. The pre-snap recognition is immaculate. Like, I really like this. And what builds off of that is toughness. Pure, straight toughness. And that's what I like. When you look at the biggest games, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, the U in the national championship, he stepped up. He was willing to stay in the pocket, take the hits. He was willing to extend plays, put his body on the line for the team, and it paid off. Also, he's a great locker room guy. He's a natural born leader, and everybody loves this kid. And he's always saying, oh, don't thank me. Thank my line. Thank my receivers. Thank the defense. So that bodes well for him. He's also very accurate. The ball placement on all three levels of the field, I think, is really good. And he operates at just a really, really high level. I think he can go to the NFL in his first year and at worst be a game manager.
I think you're putting too much pressure.
Yeah, I know. But hey, well, you're the number one overall pick. Pressure's going to happen. And what I also like is he's willing to protect the football. 6 interceptions last season on 379 attempts. Absolutely nuts ratio. But of course, there's weaknesses. He has some good velocity and arm talent, but it's the arm strength that's weird because, he's got the good bend in his arm, like the talent. He's got the talent to get the ball there, but the strength is a little iffy for me. That extra zip doesn't really have that. And so there's that. Like I said, he can roll out of the pocket, but he's not like the fastest guy either. He's not really a dynamic scrambler. I mean, he can, but if you're a defensive coordinator, he's not going to be somebody that you're going to freak out about. Like, for example, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, someone that you have to game plan for scrambling. And this is the biggest thing for me. This scares me. And everyone's like, oh, he doesn't have the good arm strength. He's not the best athlete. But for me, and I know I was just singing his praises. This is going to make me look like a flip-flopper so much I should be in Washington, D.C. But bear with me here. Part of me wonders, once again, hear me out, how much of his success at Indiana, turning a perennial loser franchise to a national championship winner, how much of that was Mendoza and how much of that was Curt Cignetti? Is Fernando Mendoza that great? Or is he a product of Curt Cignetti's scheme? Because I'll say one thing. Curt Cignetti winning with a bunch of 2 and 3 stars is insane. That man is a game planning wizard. 2 seasons in Indiana and already got a natty. Like that's insane. Like we got to tip our hats to Curt Cignetti. The Nick Saban coaching tree develops once again. But Indiana's system was heavily RPO. It creates easy completions. And while Mendoza, I think, can stretch the field, he was very rarely asked to.
Yeah,
but I will also give the credit. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I think the reliance on the RPO will be the question. Can he succeed without being reliant on the RPO? And if that's not the case, how dependent will he have to be on the RPO in order to be successful in the NFL? Because they can run RPO in the NFL because they did it with the Eagles in 2017 and won a Super Bowl doing it. It's just How will defenses adapt to it is the question.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. And I will give him credit for one thing. He's also very much a can do more with less quarterback. You know, I mean, it's not like he was out there throwing to Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. The only other member of his team that could go in the first round is Omar Cooper Jr. And honestly, and while I'm a fan of his, he's not a lock to go in the first round by any
I
stretch.
don't see it.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's been in a lot of mock drafts and his stock is skyrocketing, but he's not a lock. And, he's got Elijah Surratt to throw to as well. He had Kalen Black and another running back whose name escapes me from the University of Maryland. Roman Hemby, that's it. So, he's a transfer from Maryland. So I'll give him credit where it's due. He's very much a do more with less guys. You don't have to wonder about the whole, is he only good because of his stars? We have to worry about the scheme. If he doesn't run that RPO style offense where it just creates easy completions and stuff, I'm going to be a little concerned. It's just when he gets to the league, we are about to find out how scheme dependent he really is. And Tuck, I would like to move on, speaking of quarterbacks, to you said the second banana here, Alabama's Ty Simpson. Tuck, floor is yours.
Man, oh man, oh man. Well, if you ask Dan Orlovsky, Ty Simpson might be the best quarterback in this entire draft. If you ask everyone else,
well, Dan Orlovsky's not here, and thank God.
It's Fernando Mendoza. But I will say this. I do see him as closer to Fernando than I do see him as like the third best quarterback in the draft. He's a lot closer to 1 than he is 3. I will say that to his credit. And I think the only problem with Ty Simpson, it has nothing to do with like accuracy, nothing to do with quarterback play itself. It has more to do, can he sustain in the NFL? His best comp is Brock Purdy, which I can see. And if you have a Brock Purdy at quarterback, you're going to win you some games. Man, I still can't believe Brock Purdy is now being considered like a good comp, considering he was drafted in round 7. But
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant becomes very relevant nowadays. But all in all, I think Ty Simpson could be good. It just depends on the team that he's going to. He needs to have a good structure around him, and he needs to be fully aware of what he can and can't get away with, which is why I'm not drafting him if I'm Cleveland. Cleveland, listen up. Listen good. Don't draft him. You already have enough problems at quarterback as it is. Don't draft him. It's not going to work if you draft him. I want him to succeed. You guys can't succeed. Even if we want you, like, I don't want you guys to succeed, but even when I feel pity and want you guys to win some games, you guys still manage to get in your own way. Like, I don't know how this happens. Cleveland, stay the hell away from Ty Simpson. But all in all, I think if he's put into the right system, if he's put around the right people, like, for an example, if the Rams were to take him with the first round pick or a second round pick, I could see that, because then he'd be under Matthew Stafford. He'd have a year or 2 to learn under him. He'd have Sean McVay. They know who the next quarterback is after Matthew Stafford. They don't have to look. If they can do that, and they want to give up the first round pick in order to get 5 years of Ty Simpson, I could see that. But all in all, if I'm Ty Simpson, I want to go to a place that will respect my capabilities, know what I'm good at, know what I'm not good at, and put quality pieces surrounding me. That seems a bit broad for him, but for him specifically, I think he needs a good offensive line. And if it's not there yet, hopefully they build it up for him over time. But right now, I think talent-wise, he's closer to 1 than he is 3.
Yeah, I will say the gap between then Simpson and QB3 is much bigger than the gap between Simpson and Mendoza. And with all due respect to Ty Simpson, I don't really think that says a lot about him. I think that's just more about QB3.
I see what you're saying.
Also, if he flops as a prospect, can I please see a bunch of like AI Homer Simpson stuff, please? Like, it's trademarked out like that. I want to see that if Ty Simpson flops. Like, oh, Homer Simpson would have been better. Please. I need to see that. I want to see that.
This man is already calculating how he can get over on Ty Simpson if he fails. He wants Homer Simpson edits.
First of all, let me just say, it's not because I don't like Ty Simpson. I'm a massive Simpsons fan, the show. I love the show. It's one of my favorite shows ever. And you know what? Yeah, I do want that because it's about the memes, Tuck. What you know about the memes?
I don't.
But
I don't know about the memes.
All right. Okay. At bare minimum, if he fails, can we just get the Homer Simpson going backwards into the bush meme, please? But I don't want him to fail because I do actually like him as a prospect. So let's just break him down real quick. The build is interesting. He's only 6'1", 211 pounds, so he could stand. I mean, the height you can't do anything about, of course, but he could still serve to add some functional mass. Runs a 4.8 40, I believe. He's just another one where it's all about the brain power. The pre-snap recognition is immaculate. He can manipulate safeties and linebackers with his eyes, which is, I would say, the one thing that he has on Fernando Mendoza is the eye manipulation is already at pro level. The ball placement's great, natural pocket presence, the mental processing speed is there. But his physical tools are worse than Mendoza's. I mean, the speed, they're about the same, but the arm just is not there. I'm sorry, I love him, but it's just not. He doesn't really have any touch on his deep balls, very inconsistent past 20 yards. He had a fumble in 5 consecutive games also, which the ball security is a little bit of an issue. But my biggest red flag for him is the sample size. He looks good, yes, but 15 career starts in college. 15. So that's like a season and a quarter. Or a season and a third, give or take, because, playoffs and everything. So when it comes to Ty Simpson, I have like a late first, mid second round grade on him. Like, I think he's fine. But even if you do draft him, do not start him week 1. Look, I think Ty Simpson could be very good in the NFL. And I do, for the most part, agree with the Brock Purdy comp. But you absolutely do not start him week 1. I am looking at you, potentially Cardinals or Browns. However, I could see the Rams trading up in the second round to draft him if he's there and have him sit behind Stafford. That would be smart. So obviously that's QB1 and that's QB2.
Yes.
Who's 3 through whatever? Well, that's just a big old fucking free-for-all. It is. For me, this is just my pick. Actually, Tuck, you want to hear my top 10 outside of Simpson and Mendoza?
Yeah, let me hear this, because outside of like Simpson, it starts to after Simpson, it drops significantly.
Yeah, the gap between Simpson and QB3 is huge. We might not see a QB go till like round 4 after Simpson. So
and the funny thing is, Nussmeier was supposed to be a number 1 overall pick. If you believe 3 drafts.
Mm-hmm. Well, Garrett Nussmeier from LSU is my 3rd best quarterback. He showed flashes. He just couldn't put it all together. He had a really disappointing 2025 season, which culminated in an abdominal injury. So that's hugely concerning. My number 4 is Carson Beck from Miami. And it's not even because I'm a Carson Beck fan. I don't really believe in his upside all that much. I just think that the draft pool is that thin. Number 5 is Drew Aller from Penn State. He was another one that was being hyped up as a first-round pick before Penn State underperformed. And a lot of that was on him, but most of that was on head coach James Franklin. And to be really honest with you, the shoulder injury doesn't help. I think if he doesn't go undrafted, he's probably going to go in round 7. Somebody who's been creeping up draft boards, not into the top 5, but he just has been in general, is Arkansas quarterback Talon Green. He's like an even more raw Anthony Richardson. He's got blazing speed.
No.
Look, I'm just saying, he has blazing speed. His build is insane, and he has a cannon arm. But that's it. Like he is the project's project. And I saw some mock draft guy, not like any of the big dogs, but someone who, I forget his name, was like, oh, don't be shocked if Talon Green sneaks into round 2, maybe late round 1, to which I say, I don't know what you're smoking, but keep that shit away from me. Then moving on is number 7 is Cole Payton from North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Really slept on. I think he could be solid. Cade Klubnik from Clemson. That's alliteration. Fun. Sawyer Robinson from Baylor. And then my number 10 is Luke Altmaier from Illinois. Tuck, I know what you're about to say. I do not have Diego Pavia in my top 10. He is shorter than Doug Flutie, Tuck. He is shorter than Doug Flutie. 5'10". Kyler Murray and Bryce Young are taller than him. And look, I'm just going to be real. Size matters for a quarterback. It really height matters in your quarterback. Maybe you could get away with like 6 feet, 6'1", like whatever Drew Brees was, Baker Mayfield, 5'11" max like Russell Wilson, but not even 5'10". He's like 5'9" and like 7/8. Absolutely not. Also, he's extremely unlikable, and he's just extremely unlikable. He cares more about chirping fans than actually winning games.
Oh, man.
But I'll say one thing. I think Diego Pavia is a great college quarterback. Notice I said great college quarterback.
Man, so you don't take heart over height?
No. Heart's a lot. Well, maybe at like every other position outside of quarterback, and maybe not in the trenches, but now quarterback, like, that's like a really big deal because one of the shortest offensive linemen in the NFL is like 6'2", and most of them range from like 6'4" to 6'6". Some of them even reach 6'8", at least the tackles do. So I think that's a bit of a concern.
I really thought you would put Pavia in your top 10 just because this quarterback class is.
No. Can't fool me with that nonsense, Justin. And I just almost yeeted my phone.
He was a Heisman finalist.
Justin. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. If winning the Heisman Trophy doesn't mean jack shit to the NFL, what do you think being a Heisman finalist means? I don't know what less than jack shit is, but that's what it means. Look, that's just the way things are. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger.
Oh, man. You want to talk about anything else in this quarterback class?
Where the hell do they go? Because Fernando's locked for number 1. Ty Simpson, I think, goes late first, early second, unless some idiot team reaches on him, which is very possible. Let me just say, I don't think I've said this yet on the show, but I said it off camera. This is such an ass backwards draft class.
Low key, if they didn't grab Tyler, I could see the Vikings reaching for Ty Simpson. I could see that. I could see that, and it wouldn't be that far out of reach because their O-line is solid. They have the weapons. They just don't have the quarterback play right now. Now,
Yeah.
do I think he can beat out 9 for the position? Yes. Right now, I think he could. But again,
So,
should they? Should they? I don't think so.
so Justin, outside of Simpson, like I said, I don't think the next quarterback goes to round 4, and that's Nussmeier. I mean, I think Nussmeier's getting drafted. I think Beck is getting drafted. I think someone in the late rounds is going to take a flyer on Taylon Green or Drew Aller. But the other ones, like, and K Klubnik's probably going to get drafted too. But the other ones, like Cole Payton, Sawyer Robinson, that's like not a guarantee. That's just not. Like, I don't
You
see
don't see them
Pavia
taking
getting
up, like,
drafted.
Beckett's class?
Maybe a lot of them are just going to be camp bodies, like Jalen Daniels, maybe Miller Moss, but that's it. Like, I mean, I'm not even sure Altmaier gets drafted. Joey Aguilar from Tennessee, Haynes King from Georgia Tech. I'm just not seeing it. This
Fair
is, but one thing before we move on to Immaculate Grid, one thing that I absolutely have to stress, okay?
Mhm.
One thing that I really need to say. This draft in general, not just QB, but in general, is just horrifically ass backwards. This, and every year we do our mock draft, right? Listeners, that's what we do. This draft is one of the most, like I said, just ass backwards, chaotic, random, unpredictable drafts, high floor, low ceiling that you can get. There is no difference in my eyes between picking at 2 and picking at 10. After Fernando Mendoza is taken by the Raiders, everything else is a complete and utter crapshoot. And I know predicting the draft always is, but usually here's how mock drafts work. We know who's going in the first round, but we just don't know the order. This year, they don't even know who's going in the first round. No two mock drafts are the same. Like, there will be possibly like 5 to 6 players that go in one mock draft first round that don't even go in the next one. And a lot of the teams just have a lot of needs. It's not a great QB class. Like I said, a lot of high floor, low ceiling players. So I don't know what to make of this. Putting together this mock draft when you, me, Adam, and Chris sit down and put our heads together here, this is going to be like pulling teeth.
Yes, but we all know who I see the remaining 31 picks to be a problem. I don't think we'll have
like I said, but that's the thing. Like I said, after Mendoza, it's anyone's guess. Flip a coin on some of them. Like,
the problem is Dante Moore and Arch Manning were supposed to be in this draft class. Now they're going to be in next year's draft class, which makes it even more powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, next year's draft class with those two plus guys like Julian Sayin.
Yes,
that's gonna be good.
That's going to be insane. Whoever plays the best next season, I could see them going number 1 overall. But it in his defense, he just I think Arch is going to be a lot better next year. It was his first year starting. I think that plays a lot into it. And he faced against that Ohio State defense, which was a problem.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year they'll be better.
Well, that's all I have for quarterbacks. We're going to be previewing more positions. We're going to do running backs, receivers, tight ends, O-line, edge rushers, linebackers, DBs. We got our mock draft. And I don't know what we're going to do for the draft. I know Adam said he wants to do a live stream of something at some point. Maybe we do a live stream of the draft here. Who knows? I think that'd be fun.
On a Thursday? Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I think we could do it. I mean,
yeah, because I'm off, so I actually would be available. That would be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to him about it. But I don't know, we'll say something. But we would have to start promoting it like soon. But oh well. Moving on. It's that time. It's that time, kids. You know what time it is, Tuck? Did you know? Oh yeah, it's the Immaculate Grid. Let me share my screen real quick. Oh boy. Well, glad I figured this out when I had the chance. Boom! Here you go. The immaculate grid, and there you go.
What's
What do you
this?
think?
This is
So for our listeners, we need a Charger and a Ram, a Charger and a Texan, a Charger and a Jet, then a Bear and a Ram, a Bear and a Texan, a Bear and a Jet, then a Charger, a Texan, and a Jet, who at one point went for 1,000 receiving yards in a single season.
I'm trying to figure that Texans 1,000-yard receiver, Rams 1,000-yard receiver. I don't think Jamison Crowder ever did it as a Jet.
No. Not at all. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker come to mind. Did Quincy Enunwa ever do it?
I don't like these are the names.
Keyshawn Johnson, maybe. He's from a bit ago. I know he wasn't the best.
Corey Davis.
Huh?
Corey Davis.
Did he?
I think he did.
You know what? We trust Justin Tucker on this.
Because I know he was a top 100 player.
Corey Davis. Show me the money. No. Ooh.
Damn it.
Ooh.
My fault.
That's fine. I just thought of a Charger and a Ram.
I thought of one.
Remember
too,
the quarterback Jim Everett?
Yeah.
He was I will always remember him because he assaulted Jim Rome. Yeah, let's see what we got. Jim Everett, 4. I'll take it.
A Charger and a Texan.
2 equally irrelevant teams. Also, we got to knock out the 1,000 receiving yards here.
Yes, they're easy, but at the same time, it's hard to find them.
Yeah, the Rams. I know Kenny Britt was a 1,000-yard receiver. The problem is, I don't know if he did it when he was on the Rams, because I know he had one season with the Browns where he did have 1,000 yards, but I don't know if he did it with the Rams before that.
I don't think he did. Robert Woods?
But did he do it with the Rams?
Yes.
All right, let's do it because Puka and Cooper Kupp are obvious. So Puka is obvious. Cooper Kupp is obvious. Wait, did Brandon Cooks do it?
Yes, I think so.
So who's more obvious, Brandon Cooks or Robert Woods?
I think Robert Woods, because I think Cooper Kupp was only there one season
with the Rams.
He was there multiple seasons. He was there for multiple seasons because he signed that contract and then went back to back in the Super Bowl from the Patriots to the Rams. But
all right, so should we do Robert Woods then?
Yeah, we can try.
Okay, 5. I'll take that. Because the Rams, I mean, obviously, like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, or some. Wish Tavon Austin panned out. That would have been fun.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice, but no.
Oh, I don't know how obvious this is, but Robert Quinn for the Rams and Bears.
Yeah, that works.
Is it too obvious though?
Oh, I think
because a lot of people. My stance is that a lot of people forget about him, like especially after he went to the Rams. Should we try it?
Yeah, let's try.
After he left the Rams. 8. Look at that picture of him. Isn't that beautiful? Just nice Robert Quinn. It's just the words Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn. We got to respect him though. He was a beast.
Yeah, but all right, hold on. Time out.
Let's just try and knock out all these other 1,000-yard receivers. I mean, the Texans,
Nico Collins, DeAndre Hopkins, Andre Johnson. Do they like that?
Do they even have anyone else? I mean, I feel like Andre Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins are the most obvious.
Yeah, Will Fuller never fully did it.
No, he was always hurt.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know. Jets 1,000-yard receiver. So Corey Davis was a wash. Garrett Wilson, obvious. Eric Decker's obvious. Brandon Marshall's obvious.
Is Eric Decker obvious?
Yeah, I would think so. I remember him
Over
terrorizing
Brandon Marshall, over Garrett Wilson, over.
I mean, he would probably be number 3. I mean, Don Maynard, maybe. I think he played for the Jets at one point. Wait, no, I'm thinking of someone else.
1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, I don't know. Old man. From the olden times.
This blows.
This does. Thank you, Jets, for being so funny.
This card.
Well, in our defense, who really, outside of the Rams, which one of these teams is relevant? Maybe the Bears, but that's only like recent memory. This is recency bias of the highest freaking order.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We can't shoot the messenger here, Justin.
We can damn sure be upset about the message because it looks like we're bad.
Oh, yeah, no. We're not going to shoot the messenger, but we will be upset about the message. Here's something that I thought of. Remember that receiver, Al Toon, for the Jets?
No.
He was there in the 80s and 90s. He's one of their better ones. That's all I got. I'm just hoping that not a lot of people know him. Every good little Jets fan knows him, but I was just wondering about how obvious, but let's just see. It's pretty obvious. Sub 10 I'll take.
6%.
I will take it. I will take the sub 10. All right. The Texans. So obviously, Tuck, can we think of anybody else? Like anyone else? Because, I say this because, like I said, D-Hop, Andre Johnson, we can take them off the table.
Yes.
Let's not
Nico
like
Collins off the table.
Let's not do that. Yeah. Nico Collins. Brandon Cooks was a Texan at one point, but I don't think he ever had 1,000 yards. He was a Texan, right? Because I know he was a Cowboy, but he did bounce around. You know what? Should we just send it and say Brandon Cooks? Because I know
he's a 1,000-yard receiver though when he was with the Texans.
Pretty sure he is, because I remember he was good.
Try it.
He played for like 3 seasons, I think. He was hurt for one of them, but I'll tell you what. If it's not Brandon Cooks, then I'll cry. How about that?
Really?
Okay. But at what cost? You know what? It's sub 10. If it's sub 10, we can be happy and eat our cake. Okay, so we got that all figured out. Alrighty then, Justin. Do you have anything else?
Off the top, these teams are atrocious. I'm trying to LaDainian Tomlinson, the obvious Jets Chargers thing.
Yeah, it's a little too obvious for my liking.
Too obvious.
Tyrod Taylor. He played for the Texans too at one point, I remember.
Tyrod
so
Taylor.
He could literally be Jets. All right.
It can be Jets.
God, I always forget that.
Yeah.
So Tyrod Taylor.
It might be Jets Chargers.
He's on the Jets now, so I think Jets or Chargers Texans might be a little more obscure. Let's try it.
I guess not. I guess not.
I really thought people were going to forget he was on the Texans. I really thought people were going to forget.
Nope.
I really thought. I am an unworthy immaculate gritter. See, this is what happens when we don't have Chris here and I have to host and I can't think. You know what? It's just me. I don't know ball. I had my one win sanity run that one day and then that's it. Now I'm suffering. And bro, who the hell is texting me at this time? Sorry.
Man, I feel like I'm lost here because These teams are just not for me. The Jets and the Bears.
I think Kellen Clemens played for the Jets, the longtime Chargers backup, if you want to run with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I think he was drafted by the Jets, actually, but he mostly was a backup for the Chargers. Oh, thank God.
1%.
I was just thinking about obscure backup quarterbacks. All right, well, gang.
Okay.
The Tyrod Taylor one's going to kill us, but what doesn't kill you makes you cry.
I killed just about Corey
Texans
Davis.
Bear. Huh?
I already killed us with the Corey Davis pick.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that I didn't do anything about that. Anyway, hello. For those of you who don't know, I've mentioned him on the show before. My friend Tom has sent me like 10 Instagram reels. So, yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm like multitasking here because God forbid someone be a good friend, But a Texan and a Bear and a Texan and a Jet. A Texan, a Bear, and a Bear and a Jet. Well, obviously Bears, Jets, that'd be like Brandon Marshall. I think Lamar Miller played for the Bears at one point, the old Miami running back.
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer, but that's obvious to me because I'm a Pats fan. Should we do Brian Hoyer? Do we want to do him? Do we want to do Lamar Miller? What are we thinking here?
Lamar Miller. That's more obscure because I don't recall him ever playing for the Bears.
I'm pretty sure he did. Okay. All right, let's keep guessing here. Okay, this was not a good rarity score, but honestly, everything sub 10 except for Tyrod Taylor I think is good. All right, a Bear and a Jet. Like I said, Brandon Marshall is the obvious one. But I'm pretty sure. Did Calvin Pryor ever find his way to the Jets? I mean, the Bears.
Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler, I don't think was on the Jets, though. He was on the Bears and the Dolphins. Like, I think that was it. I mean, Jay Cutler on the Jets, though, would be funny.
That would be funny. I really thought for some reason, I thought he did make it to the Jets for some reason. I know he did make it to the Dolphins, but damn. Broncos, Bears, Dolphins, and I thought another team, but I guess not.
Matt Forte, but he was really good.
Yeah, that's an obvious one.
Josh McCown's obvious. Khalil Herbert, I guess, maybe.
Try Khalil Herbert.
Oh. Big H, Khalil Herbert. All right, we did it. All right, I want to see the actual. Whoa! Hey, I mean, he was on the Jets fairly recently, so I was worried.
Now,
you know what?
Outside of Tyrod Taylor, it was a miracle.
Honestly, it wasn't like our best showing, but outside of Tyrod Taylor, I think we did pretty good. That Robert Quinn thing is still sending me just Robert Quinn.
Yeah. I need to do better at these things. I should know more ball.
I should do what I did that one day and just comb every roster since like 2000 and come in with like an army of knowledge. But no. Too lazy for that to do that every day. And can you really blame me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's about it for us.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add? Any more witticisms? I would appreciate it.
Nah, I'm good. I don't have anything else to add to this episode.
Well, it happens. Anyway, that'll do it for us today. Thank you for joining me. We got new episodes out Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Also, be sure to subscribe to our Instagram at Fumblerooski_podcast. And be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and so much more. Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we are. And that's pretty much it for myself, CJ Medeiros, and my good friend Justin Tucker. We will see you next time. Over and out.